So I remember in MCA school, they would bring in those from the fleet who had graduated and were brought back to give testimony saying, I'm using this lesson and that lesson that I learned in A school, and none of it's a waste of time. So in other words, for sailors who were finishing their 6 months in the MCA school, or the Basic Mass Communication Specialist course, it was a message to say, pay attention to each section and do what you're supposed to be doing. So here is a direct example of me bringing all of my time in the fleet, which was actually with the Marine Corps, down to bear with a MacGyver kind of setup. And you're going to see some of the tools that I had to condescend to use as a media producer in this interview setup, which was actually also for veterans. This is a hand truck used usually for moving or carrying heavy equipment, or a hand dolly, which I think is a slang term. I had to use it for my tripod, which here you see my iPhone, which is the camera I had to use, and the onboard microphone. So it was not a great setup, but it did the job. This is an office lamp that I wrapped with foil that I got from a nearby kitchen. I wrapped the bottom of it with a rubber band to hold the foil on, and then because the light was too strong, I taped together 3 Kleenex tissues to be a filter or a diffuser for the light, because it was kind of too harsh on the subjects. Here is another office lamp that I had to use. I wrapped with foil. This one didn't require rubber bands, but it's lighting the backdrop, which is the American flag and the state flag where I was shooting. By the way, these flags were part of a missing man table display. In order to create the interviews that I was shooting, I needed this backdrop because it was a military theme as I was interviewing veterans. So it actually called for the removal of these flags from the missing man table setup. So here you have it, the setup that is proudly made, and because of my time in MC school up there in Fort Meade, Maryland at DINFOS, and my time with the Marines for 3.5 years in Washington, D.C., Arlington, Virginia area, and everybody who taught me on the way, I was able to throw all of this together. And the final product is not the most beautiful thing that you'll ever see, with the little bit that I had on hand from the lessons I learned, and able to make a semi-professional product with binder clips, aluminum foil, and tape with some Kleenex. It's a pretty proud moment. Thanks to all those who poured in to the education and training that I was able to complete over time.